Hi, my name is Norbert Rodriguez, and I'm a first semester student here at Penn State York.
My name is Specialist Roland Apgar. I served 4 years on active duty in the United States Army.
Hi, I'm Christine Frederick. I'm an Army medic. I'm currently in a unit stationed in Pittsburgh.
Hi, my name is Corey Bachman. I graduated from Penn State York in 2011.
Hi, my name is Joe Royer. Upon completion of my senior year and graduation from high school, I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps.
My job in the military was 13 Romeo, firefighter radar operator.
Signal Corps 25 uniform. I'm currently in the Pennsylvania Army National Guard as a 25 uniform. I deployed in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom to Baghdad 2006.
Hi, my name is Edward Cole. Just to touch base with a little bit about myself, I served 9 years with the Pennsylvania Army National Guard, served on multiple deployments, Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. The purpose for this video today is to gauge what student life is like here at Penn State York. I was fortunate enough to talk with several veterans. They shared their stories. And the first question, why Penn State York?
I chose Penn State York because it had a small classroom environment with a big campus brand name. One of the things that appealed to me here was that everybody knew your name and they didn't treat you like a number.
One of the biggest factors of me picking Penn State over any other university is that Penn State has the tools to help you in your academic success here. One of those tools is Nene Success Center and math tutoring, which is all available to students, and it all helps if you need extra help in math or English.
Another big consideration for me, I as an individual, I'm in the National Guard presently, while going to school, and, I drill 1 weekend a month and quote-unquote 2 weeks a year. Our AT, our annual training, falls during this semester, and of all my professors, everyone agreed to work with me, accommodate me. One professor in particular has agreed to provide me with individualized instruction that I'll miss, just so I'm not behind the rest of the class when it comes to finals.
I found Penn State York, and I came and talked to some advisors here, and they thought I'd probably be a good fit, so they gave me a shot, set me up with a class, and I fell in love with the campus. I fell in love with the climate here, and ended up quitting my full-time job to come to school full-time to pursue a degree in computer science.
The next question I asked was, I was trying to gauge from a veteran's perspective, what was it like for the veteran to transition from military life to academic life in higher education?
Some of the challenges I had was trying to juggle working full-time with my class schedule. But one thing I found out that a lot of the instructors and faculty around here did everything they could to accommodate.
My experience here at Penn State York has been great. Not knowing what I was going to get myself into after being out of school for so long, I came in to find that all the faculty and the students are very, very nice. I've been part of the Penn State varsity baseball team.
They do recognize that the veteran population is unique in many ways to traditional students, based on the experience that we as veterans have, regardless of, your branch of service, whether you were active duty, National Guard, or Reserve. So that consideration helps greatly, making sure that, vets are brought together, they can, coordinate, communicate. Also having point people like Dr. Christ and Mr. Cole, that if you have questions, problems, or concerns, you can go directly to them, speak to them.
One of the scariest things for me returning to school was how would I fare as an adult student in a classroom with students that just got out of high school. It had been about 6 years since I'd sat in a classroom, and that was a bit intimidating. That lasted probably 2 weeks. After that, it was really easy. I fit in. I made friends quickly, and academically speaking, the maturity and discipline and dedication and the value that I knew that this education had put me head and shoulders above most of my classmates.
Through the Nittany Success Center and some of the extra, individualized attention I received from the faculty, really helped me, get my stride and kind of get up to par with my peers.
The enrollment process here at Penn State York was pretty convenient for me. Since I'm a non-traditional student, I was working at the time at the Department of Defense, and my application process and placement tests could all be done online, which was very convenient for me. And all the advisors and all the people that I talked to online were pretty prompt in responding back to me, and it all helped the enrollment process move along pretty fast.
In closing, I wanted to assess, from veteran to veteran, what can Penn State York do better to serve their student veteran population?
Advice I have is get involved. I got involved in a couple activities here on campus, and it made for a much more rewarding experience. Another thing is, if you have any issues regarding classes or anything with your finances, GI Bill and so forth, or you just have any issues in general, talk to somebody. There's a good chance someone here will listen to you. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact they will.
Take the time now, from when you get home from a deployment or before you start classes, take the time to learn about those benefits. And then if you need help, obviously contact Penn State York. They are very familiar with GI Bill benefits and also any other veterans benefits. They do have outside resources that can assist you with anything that you need.
The only way I can say Penn State York could maybe improve veteran services is just making sure that there's that somewhat consistent outreach to vets to make sure that some of the, I guess, inhibitors to their success are being addressed. Coming from a different background than traditional students, not having necessarily maybe the same support systems in place and what have you. It's just nice to know that people care, and it's not just about the school getting, your VA benefits.
I feel as though one of the things that Penn State could bring to us veterans is a venue where we could interact with local companies such as BAE Systems, United Defense, organizations like that that are more geared towards veterans.
I think Penn State York really provides a good support system for its veterans. The one thing I wish that the veterans would do better at Penn State York is I wish there were more cohesion. I think as a group, veterans stand out, and they have a lot to offer a college campus.
Even though Penn State has come a long way in recognizing veterans here on campus, there are still some things that maybe they could work on as far as recognizing the veterans, either an appreciation day or possibly getting the professors familiar with our background as far as we're coming back from a deployment. Some of us are suffering from PTSD, other issues from the deployment. We're not asking for any special treatment, but I think it's important that they know that some of us are in counseling for anxiety disorders, things like that, and maybe they can try to alleviate some of that stress by working with us, just like any other type of disability that any other student might have on campus.